Here we go. MMTs. Chino had an excellent entry right here on that $580 call at the 1020. We are going to expire this quadruple witch in about 15 minutes. So basically, these calls got down to 40 cents. They popped them back up there. That's that 590. Google is trading at 590.92 by 91 pennies. We are going down into the wire. Here we are, MMTs. Buying those, he identified these at $10.20. They ran up. $11 prints were going off. Still, he would have had a spread as he did 1090 by 1140. This is how an options triple expiration expires, going right down to the closing tape. This is very valuable to even be part of. They hit 40 cents at that 590 call. The high, the close yesterday was 3.30. The high was 2.85. There'd been a couple of bounces in the options expiration. Google must break well above the highs of the day of 592.56, and it has exactly 13 minutes, and we'll be coming back to see where we end up at this price action with 13 minutes to the witching closing bell. We're 10 minutes to the closing bell right now, MMTs, and these options are dropping down. Here they are, the ones that he identified, Chino MMT at 1020, and had that bounce during that 3-minute breakout. That was a 3-teeny breakout, and we're fading back to same 3 teenies. We're kind of holding support there. Apple is still breaking down. Netflix, FFIV, Acumen, FCX are all in their channel ranges. Intermune, ITMW. ITMW is right here, that biotech leader. We've got the bull right there. There's the bull. Here's the bull. And the bull hit a high and pulled back to the lows and has barely recovered off of those lows going into the closing bell. We have exactly right now roughly 9 minutes on the tape. So we're going to be watching these names. We're going to be watching what they do with this option going right into the closing bell. That's that 590 call. And once again, I'll bring up the Google chart so we have that in play, MMTs. Here is the chart versus these calls. So if they pop this thing again like they did that 3 teenies, that's a little over $1. They had popped those 1020s up to 1140 right here on the 580 that expires in 8 pennies. The 590 calls for December will be expiring, and people just got mutilated on these 590s. Used to be well above $25 and $30. I mean, they just got hammered going into the expiration. We've got side action and breakout action trying to occur on Apple and some of the other names. They've just been sliding the bids again, but not nearly as bad. Increased money flow on MMTs. Apple calls are 1030 by 45 pennies. High was 1165. That's that 310 call that December in the money is going to walk away so far, it looks like, with at least $10 value. That's this call, 310 call action, Apple computer. They used to be much higher. They were in a range bound. Apple slightly printing. Currently, right now, Apple is printing at 320.45, 321.79. Hot and heavy into this closing bell. We got about 7 pennies left. Let's go back to that Google trade and see what it's doing. Here we go. We're down to 3 minutes into the closing bell. You can see that 590 call. Google is trading right here, MMTs at 590. That's 75 pennies in the money. They're going to expire here in about 3 minutes. And there's that 580, which just so happens to be in the money calls on this triple, quadruple witching hour. And we did not see any huge breakouts right now. There's a lot of rebalancing going into this closing bell, that's for sure. One of the things that we're looking at right now is a very non-event as far as these breakouts go all day in the price action. you've got about 5 teeny movements in here. Big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teenies, $1.80, almost $2, and so whatever it adds up to, close to it. So that's the kind of action. So that meant that these went sideways. Now they're getting a pop going right into the closing bell. Look at that. You got 2 minutes to the expiration. It is 12:58 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. MMTs. Look at them pop those calls up. They're trying to get whatever value they can. It's at 591.27 by 591.31. It's slightly 1.31 ratio in the money for the 590 over here. You can see it. You can see it. It's right down to the wire, MMTs. This is about the best thing that you can ever learn is going into a closing quadruple. You can see the calls moving around there in the 320s on Apple, FCX, and all kinds of other ones expiring right now. It's all going down in the next minute. Then it's going to be the end of it. Here it goes. It's going down to the last minute. They're getting some premium out. They made $1 off of that bottom. Big money ransack trading. There's a 3 and a 6, and there's a 74. Look at that ascending ratio. .4 with that breakout. MMTs. Look at that extension. They're trying to teeny that up, and they're going to be selling them all off. 13,000 traded. How many of these? We have 2,100. There is the bell. MMTs. MMTs. There was a huge buyer at the closing bell. That was negative money flow. 199,243 shares bought on the closing bell. Bought on the closing bell. There it was. MMTs bought on the closing bell. Here it is right there. And we're going to go over some more. The final option print right here, $1.60. That's what happened. It's no longer, it's over with. This one here, last print 11:20. Close was 12, 8.5 on the low of the day for the expiration. Quadruples over.